This video is for educational and entertainment use only. The views in this video do not necessarily represent the views or life of Marlon.
You guys, so welcome back to Duffle LO, to sit down and to end this few episodes, like talking about the U.S., like getting out of Afghanistan. Just the last thing I want to show you guys. So let me share my screen so you guys can see what I'm talking about. Here we are, right here, coming from NPR News. And look at what that says. Just came out the other day. Retired general warns the U.S. military could back a coup after the 2024 election. We're in 2022, 2 years away. So let's just read it and see what he says, because he's retired. So you know, if he was a general, he obviously knew what he was doing. And that's him right there. So shout out to him, General Paul Eaton. So as the anniversary of the insurrection at the U.S. Capitol approaches, 3 retired U.S. generals have warned that another insurrection could occur after the 2024 presidential election and that the military could support it. So for those that don't know, at the Capitol on, I believe, January 6, 2021, last year, they basically, like, you know, Trump was giving a little rally outside and he ended up having people to storm the Capitol. They stormed the Capitol. Somebody ended up losing their life. So this is what they saying, or this is what they talking about. And they saying that it could happen again after the 2024 election and the military will support it, which means they're going to be down for it. So we shall see. The generals Paul Eaton, Antonio Taguba, and Stephen Anderson. Also, it's not just one, it's 3 of them. They made their case in a recent Washington Post op-ed. In short, we are chilled to our bones at the thought of a coup succeeding next time, they wrote. Paul Eaton, a retired U.S. Army Major General and a senior advisor to Vote Vets, spoke with NPR's Mary Louise Kelly earlier this week. So how could a coup play out in 2024? The real question is, does everybody understand who the duly elected president is? If that is not a clear-cut understanding, that can infect the rank and file or at any level in the U.S. military. If I'm not mistaken, I think the duly elected president is her, which is the Speaker of the House, Nancy Pelosi. So if like something was to happen with the president and then something was to happen with the vice president, she would be the president. And we saw it when 124 retired generals and admirals signed the letter contesting the 2020 election. We're concerned about that, and we're interested in seeing mitigating measures applied to making sure that our military is better prepared for a contested election, should that happen in 2024. So they saying that they want to be prepared for it, but if they're going to be a part of it, hey, how worried is he on a scale of 1 to 10? I see it as low probability, high impact. I hesitate to put a number on it, but it's an eventuality that we need to prepare for. In the military, we do a lot of war gaming to ferret out what might happen. You may have heard of the Transition Integrity Project that occurred about 6 months before the last election. We played 4 scenarios, and what we did not play is a U.S. military compromise, not to the degree that the United States is compromised today, as far as 39% of the Republican Party refuses to accept President Biden as president, but a compromise nonetheless. So we advocate that the particular scenario needs to be addressed in a future war game held well in advance of 2024. So what they're saying is, a lot of people didn't accept Biden, still don't accept Biden as a president today. Like a lot of Republicans, and there's even some Democrats, because what's been going on with them lately and everything. Like, you know, they have coined the term Sleepy Joe and all this stuff. He's making mistakes, falling up and down like the platforms and all that stuff. So a lot of people saying like he's kind of like embarrassing the U.S., so they don't like that. So what they saying is that the military might end up helping the next coup if he were to run in 2024 and win again. So they already need to, you know, do a war game for just in case something like that end up happening. But it's going to be crazy. So there's people like, you know, storming into the Capitol. Yeah, January 6, 2021. Yeah. Can the current Pentagon leadership handle it? I'm a huge fan of Secretary of Defense Lloyd Austin, a huge fan of the team that he has put together and the uniformed military under Joint Chiefs of Staff Chairman General Mark Milley. They're just superb. And I am confident that the best men and women in the U.S. and in our military will be outstanding. I just don't want the doubt that has compromised or infected the greater population of the United States to infect our military. So he like, man, look, I just hope that, you know, the military don't feel a certain way about whoever becomes president. I had a conversation with somebody about my age, and we were talking about civics lessons, liberal arts education, and the development of philosophical underpinnings of the U.S. Constitution. And I believe that bears a reteach to make sure that each and every 18-year-old American truly understands the Constitution of the United States, how we got there, how we developed it, and what our forefathers wanted us to understand years down the road. That's an important bit of education that I think we need to readdress. I believe that we need to war game the possibility of a problem and what we were going to do. The fact that we were caught completely unprepared militarily and from a policing function on January 6th is incomprehensible to me. Civilian control of the military is sacrosanct in the US, and that is a position that we need to reinforce. And this right here is somebody that's inside the House when they stormed the Capitol. Our civics lessons, week T, to stave off insurrection. A component of that unsaid is that we all know each other very well. And if there is any doubt in the loyalty and the willingness to follow the oath of the United States to support and defend the part of the U.S. Constitution, then those folks need to be identified and addressed in some capacity. When you talk to a squad leader, a staff sergeant, a 9-man rifle squad, he knows his men and women very well. So that's it right there. So what I would say is, yeah, so they looking at it like that. And that's what they're saying. They're saying that it's a possibility that can happen. So they want to war game it just in case it might happen again. But then if the military end up supporting it, it's going to be way worse than it was when the civilians just did it. So if they already left all those weapons over there, they already pulled us out of the war. So now we supposed to be a superpower, but then it looked like we backing down out there. So it's like a lot of people not really feeling that. So you guys give me your comments, suggestions, what you think, you know, what's your theories about the situation? Does it scare you or put you on guard? Do you think that this should have happened? Should it not happen? Do you think that Biden might win again? Whatever you guys think, like, just write it down below. Like, share, subscribe, definitely comment. I read the comments and I want to see what you guys have to say because this is our country. So we need to know what's going on. So I'm just being the voice to let people know what's going on in the world for things that they may not pay attention to. So that's all I gotta say for this video.
This video is for educational and entertainment use only. The views in this video do not necessarily represent the views or life of Marlon Dixon.